Hello there, this is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you guys my review of the LEGO Batman Brickheadz 8-in-1 pack. It is at number 40748, comes with 325 pieces, and is rated ages 10 and up. Now this set retails in the United States for $24.99 and in Canada for $32.99. Now without further ado, let's kick off this review, starting with the box. Take a look at the box and you can see all the different versions of Batman that you can build in this one set. Now of course it's 8-in-1, but really you can only build one of these sets at a time. In fact, they've made it very specific that without supplementing additional pieces of your own collection, you cannot build more than one of these, not even two or three. Like, they have specifically put enough pieces in here for you to create just one character of each, which is a little bit interesting of a strategy, but at the end of the day, you are left with a lot of extra pieces, and there is definitely ways for you to create all 8 that I'll get into in this video. Now, flipping the set around, you see all the different Batmans built here. So you have the Bronze Age Batman, the Batman Classic TV series, Batman 1989, the animated series, Dark Knight trilogy, Batman v Superman, the LEGO Batman movie, and the Batman, aka the one most recently with Robert Pattinson. Take a look at the included manual, and as you can see, despite this being an 8-in-1 set, they made the decision to only include one manual for the Bronze Age Batman, as you can see here. So the other manuals you actually access through the LEGO Builder app, so they're definitely starting to push this a little bit more. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if down the line they start offering sets completely without manuals. Probably not even for a discount, to be honest, but just for people that would prefer to build on their iPad, even their phones, for instance. So definitely interesting. So this set only includes the manual for this set, and you have to actually go download this app, create an account in order to actually be able to build all these other Batman characters here. Now let's take a look at our Brickheadz here that we have built, being the Bronze Age Batman with the light blue Batman suit and sort of the classic, Batman design here, the gray and, with the yellow and black Batman symbol. You obviously have the big yellow utility belt as well. Definitely very classic sort of Batman design. Definitely looks pretty cool overall. You have the white eyes with no pupils even. Definitely a very simple design, but captures the look from the classic Batman comics quite well. And unfortunately, if you don't have any additional pieces to supplement into your collection, this is the only one you can really build, especially if you don't want to download the app and build some of the other ones. But that's not the point of this video. Let's show all the other 7 Batman Brickheadz built and final right now. Now, in order to create all Batman Brickheadz here in this 8-in-1 pack, you might think, oh, do I have to buy all 8 of these sets? And the answer is no. You actually only need to buy 2. In addition to buying some extra pieces, either through Bricklink or supplementing for your own collection, which I'll show off here. I found this Reddit post here that actually broke down all the extra pieces you needed, in addition to having the 2 8-in-1 Brickheadz. And really the only reason you need 2 of these is just because of certain pieces are printed. In particular, these Batman logo pieces are all prints, but they are double-sided prints. So one side will have one, the other will have the other print. So that's why you need 2 of these sets, just so you can have enough of these. Of course, you could theoretically buy those as well on Bricklink, for instance, or any other site like that. And here we have all 8 Batman Brickheadz built here. So of course we have the Bronze Age Batman, the Batman Classic TV series, Batman from the 1989 film, Batman the Animated Series, Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman from Batman and Superman, the LEGO Batman, and of course the most recent iteration with the Robert Pattinson Batman here, which all look excellent, all unique, all, similar but not, they actually all have somewhat unique building experiences. They're not 100%. Obviously, some are going to be more closely aligned than others, but overall, they do have something unique in the build that makes it slightly different, I have to say. and they all look pretty excellent here. And it's definitely really awesome to have all these different versions of Batman here. It's really cool, and definitely something that I'd love to see them do with like Iron Man, or probably more specifically a Spider-Man. I think would be really cool to do on the Marvel side of things, if this set does well. No idea if it has done too well or not. I haven't seen it on sale too often, though the first set of these that I bought was on sale. The second one I got with double points, so hard to say there, but it is soon to retire set for sure. And if you want to do this, like I said, you got to get 2 of these to make it easier to build all 8. Of course, you don't have to get 2, you could get just 1, but it just will require a lot more supplementation of your own parts, or getting on Bricklink or other sources in order to build all 8. But now let's run through the other 7 Batmans one by one, just to give them each the spotlight they deserve. Here we have Batman from the classic TV series. This one was the Adam West TV series, of course, and looks awesome. I love the printed part here, which looks excellent. Of course, he has his Batarang and some nice parts here, and tile pieces to represent the cape, of course. Just looks really nice and definitely pretty accurate to what we see there. Looking very good, I have to say. Next up, we have the Batman from 1989 Batman film, which is just awesome to see here. Definitely looks really excellent. You have the, Batman utility belt here with this printed part here. Of course, all Brickheadz get printed parts, which is the one thing you can count on, is getting no stickers in these sets, which is pretty nice, I guess. You can see, obviously, you can kind of see with me getting these parts secondhand, some of them are going to be in better condition than others. That's one of the things that sucks. I did get most of my parts brand new. There was only actually some, and it wasn't the tile pieces, so this is just how they came. They were new, but sometimes they just get scratched on the transport out here, so that's just something that you have to deal with if you buy from places like Bricklink, or find a collection at a garage sale, for instance. They're not going to be pristine condition, unfortunately. Then they are likely to be out of the box, and that's just something you have to deal with. But I still, in the end, really like this Batman as well. Now, of course, we have Batman from the animated series. I remember watching this as a kid growing up, so really cool to have this Batman in Lego form. Looking really awesome, I have to say. Obviously, also has the utility belt with no printing, though. He's got his utility, gun to, traverse the rooftops of Gotham. And really cool to have the light blue showing of the Batman cape on the inside there. Looking really awesome, I have to say. And yeah, this is definitely a really nice Lego Batman Brickheadz. Moving on to Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy, of course. This one was just such a great trilogy when it came out. Like, I loved all of them. Even Dark Knight Rises, I think, is at this point underrated in a sense, because I think people bashed on it so hard. And I definitely feel like, well, it's just because it wasn't as good as The Dark Knight, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a good film, in my opinion. It's probably one of my favorite DC films in general, and he just looks awesome. Really nice torso print design here, really sleek with the silver. Obviously, again, going to be very simple design with the Brickheadz, all the tile pieces, but still very nice Batman Brickheadz here. Moving on to Batman from the Batman v Superman film, and overall, this one might be my least favorite. It's just from the design. Obviously they wanted him to be a bit more mechanical, but some of the part usage I don't think works particularly well. I also think they made the ears just slightly too small. It's hard because I know it doesn't go up as high, but it feels like it should be just maybe a full, like a full block higher, or piece higher than it is. And obviously this is the design they came up with, so that's why it's just my least favorite. I do like the cape design, though, to make this a little bit more bulky. Looks really nice. Also, the use of the gunmetal on him looks nice. The nice sort of bandolier looks nice, and of course the utility belt, like all of that looks good. The eyes are interesting, but it's just basically from up above that I just don't love the design choices personally, and think this is definitely the one that is the least looking like the actual character. Like, I feel like if I had this on the shelf, people might guess RoboCop instead of Batman from Batman v Superman is kind of what I feel like my big guess. Next up, we have Batman from the Lego Batman movie, and funny story, I actually have never seen the Lego Batman movie. I've seen the Lego movie and the Lego movie 2, but I never actually got into watching it. I've seen a lot of clips now, like it's started circling on like Instagram Reels from TikTok and whatnot. So I've seen some different clips from it. So it looks kind of fun. I just never got around to watching it. And again, you can see some of the parts that are a little bit more used that definitely felt like, you know, it's just one of the things that you get with Bricklink. You never know what you're actually going to get, unfortunately. But it's still fine. Like it's not a big deal. It just looks a little bit more worn than if it was brand new. Still, though, definitely nice to have this version of Batman as well. Very, very simple, sort of classic Batman design, and definitely I feel like looks the most like what a Batman minifigure would look like, if that makes sense, just with the printing, how it is. So overall, pretty nice Batman here. And finally, we have the Batman from the film The Batman, and he looks awesome here, or I guess Vengeance is kind of all he's called in the Batman film, which is was a very interesting choice to me, that he didn't seem to embrace the term Batman in a way, because he just would say, I'm Vengeance. Just something funny I found during that film. Overall, though, I really like the design, really like the torso print here. It looks awesome. Definitely really, really cool. You have some nice, you know, very simple. It looks very similar to the other ones. But overall, the design looks pretty nice, and I think this is my favorite print of all of them. Maybe second to Dark Knight, actually, from the Dark Knight trilogy, because I just really like this design. And frankly, like, if you want these parts, like, even if you don't want the Brickheadz, like, having some parts like this to, you know, go into like your own bat caves might be something you like about having all those options that you could use. Definitely looks pretty cool, though. And just showing off the extra pieces I was left with. Admittedly, this isn't going to be perfect because I did get a few extra pieces just in case you know, the post was wrong, for instance. So specifically over here, I got some extra, you know, of these pieces here, some extra, you know, 1x3 tile pieces and whatnot. Realistically, over here on this side, this is what you are left with extra from the two sets. And then a mixture of some of these other pieces, obviously the two Brickheadz, or brick separators and whatnot, but just gives you an idea of what you're left with. I always recommend, if you're going to get from Bricklink, maybe get extras just in case. You never know if you're going to need it. It's kind of how I go when I order Bricklink. And just to note, like, this is the main piece that you need a lot of that are extras. As you saw on that image, you need 82 of these. And these are probably ones that you wouldn't have easy access to in your collection. Obviously, these are used quite a bit in Brickheadz in general, so kind of makes sense why you need that many. But definitely, this is the main piece that required you to have to, you know, get in order to be able to really build all these Brickheadz. And there you have it, all 8 Batman Brickheadz from this 8-in-1 pack, built and displayed, ready to go here, looking very awesome. Like I said, all you need to do is get the 2 Brickheadz 8-in-1 packs and then supplement with the extra pieces that I showed. Again, that Reddit post with that image will be in the description, so you can check that out if you want. And in the end, I definitely recommend it. If you're a big Batman fan, Batman's probably my favorite DC character, so it just made sense for me to go ahead and do this, and I'm happy I did. I think this is really cool to have all 8 of these Brickheadz built, and I think they're going to look really cool. With that being said, that's all my opinion. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the Batman 8-in-1 packs. What are your thoughts on LEGO doing that? Do you think they should do it more, like I said, with an Iron Man or Spider-Man to show off those different ones that they haven't built? Iron Man will obviously have a lot more options. Spider-Man, you could do the different Spider-Man films. Just let me know. Please leave a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.